Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, we've got another 2023 release from Kershaw in front of us today. This is a Shoreline. Now, we've seen the Iridium, which for me is probably one of the best Kershaw knives I've seen in a long time. That Duralock is fantastic. They've released a few models with the Duralock. I want to get my hands on ones like the Heist to check out as well. But that Iridium, oh man, that thing's nice. With the Shoreline, we kind of get back to that kind of classic Kershaw look. And I mean, I don't know about you, but you can pretty much, I know I can kind of look at this knife and I bet that's a Kershaw. And yeah, it is. Without a doubt. So what do we have in the Shoreline? Well, you've got this 3D contoured handle. Nice contouring. And as you can see, you've got some texturing going on there on the handle, which provides you a decent grip. I am still kind of sliding a little bit. This is a GFN handle. So, I mean, I am slipping a little bit more than I thought I would with this texturing. So, take that into account. You've got the GFN backspacer too, which is pretty much covering your the whole knife there. You don't have a lot of open construction there. You do have a very generous lanyard hole and a reversible pocket clip with recessed screws. So lefties and lanyard fans, you can definitely be happy about this one. Now, the chamfering and everything like that, well done. No issues there whatsoever. As you can see, you do have a flipper tab. It's got some jimping on it that actually catches your finger pretty well. Now, this is an assisted knife. I know there's going to be some grumbles on that. I get it. Assisted knives have never really ever bothered me. So I always want a knife to come open, and an assisted knife is normally going to come open when you flip it. So that's just kind of how I look at it. I know some of you don't like it, and that's good. And you want to know if you can de-assist it or not. Very good. All well and good. But like I said, it is assisted. It jumps out. Actually, the detent is actually pretty solid on this knife. The first couple times, I'm like, and I was like, oh, okay. Now, I will say, in saying that, I will say that sometimes it is a little up here, the jimping. I don't know. I might have to hit that with a little bit of emery cloth or something, because that one edge does catch a little bit. I don't know if you can, yeah, see that? See, that's what it shows. The detent is kind of thick because it actually puts a little bit of a dent in the finger. So that kind of gives you an idea of where the detent's at. When it's open, you got an 8CR13 MOV blade. Nice stonewash on it. I really like the stonewash. Kershaw there, of course. They like branding their blades. You know that. Model number 1845, 8CR. In-house design. And yes, it definitely is made in China. So I like the shape of the blade. We come down to this kind of narrow, kind of drop spear point there. Do have a little bit of smile on the grind there. This one's a little bit, it kind of comes back at it kind of stops right there at the plunge relay. I guess a little bit of smile. But let's get some specs on it. Overall, I kind of, like I said though, I mean, honestly, tell me in the comments. You can pretty much look at this knife closed and say, I bet that's a Kershaw. To me, it's just kind of got that classic Kershaw in-house type design. So overall, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we're probably right at 7 inches if I get it lined up. Just about perfect, maybe just a hair over. So a little bit on the smaller size. EDC wise though, it's going to pretty much take care of any EDC task you have. Obviously at that size, the PM2 is definitely much larger. Even the bug out's probably going to be a little bit bigger. Not a lot, but a little. Yeah, not a lot, but a little. Get a weight on this guy. It is pretty easy. Like I said, it is assisted, so you have to overcome that spring. It's pretty easy to close one-handed without much issue. Let's see here. 2.8, not bad. Not bad at all. You do have the loop over clip, which it wants to be deep carry, but as you can see there, you're going to have just a little bit sticking out. So, and that's kind of one of the things that I like to point out about these. You know, we've seen here recently that even some of your more, I don't know, let's see, what's the wording I want to use? I mean, they're still budget knives, but Kershaw, even, you know, on their budget line like this one, you still have recessed screws. And that's just something, I think it looks a lot better to me. That's where I'm going with this. It just, to me, shows a little bit more quality in the product. Isn't quite where I want to go with it, but it just shows. It just shows that you've taken the extra time to make the lines a little bit better for me. And it's completely aesthetic. It really is. But to me, it kind of wins me over a little bit. A tiny bit. Not a lot, but a tiny bit it does. So overall, what do I think of this Shoreline? Well, again, like I said, back to classic budget Kershaw. Now, I know in the past, I've grumbled a little bit about Kershaw. I've grumbled even a little bit more about CRKT and how they price their knives as far as materials go. This guy's selling for about $32.99, I think, $33. I actually picked this up from Brian over at Blue Creek Knives. You know, you can go back and forth. You can go back and forth about pricing on just about everything. This one's not too bad, $32.99. Would I like to see it a little bit lower? Sure. Of course. Why not? I think we'd like to see all knives a little bit lower priced at this point. Because unfortunately they're going the other direction. But in hand, it's pretty darn good. As you can see, you know, it is a little bit smaller knife, so I didn't give you a grip length. We need to do that. So grip length, I mean, really you're stretching it out to about 3.5 inches, and that's how it looks on my 3 3/4 inch hand. But it definitely is on the smaller side. Those of you with larger hands, you know, might not be as comfortable with this one. I can feel that clip a bit again. So over with repetitious use, not that I do a lot of repetitious use, you know, like over and over and over. Yeah, I could see where somebody might have an issue with it, for sure. Not me, really. Just doing my normal cutting, it's not really an issue, but I can feel it. So take it for what it's worth. I like the profile. I have always had a soft spot in my heart for Kershaw. I just have. Some of my earliest knives were Kershaw's. I'm pretty sure that's why. Why? Because they were budget friendly. I mean, you know, even back recently here, when I first started the channel, you know, 4-ish years ago or whatever it was, the hot wire was a hot knife. It was $10. You could pick it up at Walmart or whatever, $10. Yeah, it had a couple of issues here and there. Sometimes the pivot was loose when you bought it. You just tighten up the pivot, put a little Loctite on it, and it ended up being a pretty nice little knife for $10. And, you know, I've kind of always had a soft spot. I do grumble about their pricing sometimes. Yeah, and I probably will. It's just the way it is. But agree or disagree, it's all good. You know, it's not a bad little knife overall. It is comfortable. Like I said, I know some people are not going to be happy that it's assisted, and we'll try to de-assist it. Hey, if that's your thing, go right ahead. I tell you what, though, the detent on this one is solid. It's solid. My finger proves it. So, for what it is, not a bad little knife. You know, it's one of those, hey, should I go this way? Should I go that way? You know, lots of options out there. Of course, that's kind of one of the beauties of being a knife nerd, if you will, since we're talking about Brian over at Blue Creek Knives. So many options out there. And I understand you got to put your money in the best option that you think. But for this one, it's not bad. Not bad at all. This one will probably, I think these Kershaws, I'm debating on the Iridium. I want to do a sale here coming up real soon. It's obviously going to go out to my channel members first, as they always do. They're going to get a couple of days to decide whether they want to pick anything up. And then, of course, it'll go public if there's anything left. I don't think there was anything left after the last one. So they pretty much snagged them up. But anyway, I'm thinking I have this one. And then, of course, I do have the conduit over here. Those will probably go up on the sale just because trying to pick up some extra money to go to Blade Show Texas, which should be really fun. Already talking to a couple of people about Blade Show Texas and being there and possibly meeting up. That'd be fantastic. Love that. But really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for checking out the Kershaw Shoreline with me today. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.